Good morning. We are going to talk about vital signs. Our team is confirmed by Andrea Cristina Ramírez Díaz, Bárbara Valdés Nájera, Cristian Gilberto Medina González, and María de Jesús Esmeralda Noriega Franco. It's the final project or English.
This word is very important in the matter, and this is vocabulary and vital things. First, blood pressure. Work stirred by blood against the arterial walls when heart contracts to relax. Bradycardia, pulse rate under 60 beats per minute. Dyspnea, difficult or labored breathing. Pulse, pressure of the blood falls against the wall on artery as the heart contracts and relaxes. Respiration, process of the taking in oxygen inspiration and expelling carbon dioxide expiration by way of lungs and head page. And temperate balance between heat loss and heat produced by the body. Stethoscope, instrument used for listening to internal body sounds. Diastolic, measurement of blood pressure when heart is at rest. Constant pressure in the artery. Systolic, measurement of the blood pressure when the heart is contracting pouring blood in the arteries.
What are vital signs? Vital signs are measurable moments of the body's most basic functions. There are four main vital signs routinely monitored by medical professionals. Medical professionals can be a nurse, a doctor, a dentist, for example, and healthcare providers include the following: body temperature, pulse rate, respiration rate, blood pressure. Blood pressure is not considered a vital sign, but is often measured along with the vital signs. We are going to talk first to body temperature. The normal body temperature of a person varies depending on gender, recent activity, food and fluid consumption, time of day, and in a woman, the stage of the menstrual cycle. Normal body temperature can range from 97.8 degrees Fahrenheit, equivalent to 36.5 degrees Celsius, to 99 degrees Fahrenheit. For a healthy adult, a person's body temperature can be taken in any of the following ways. But first, the normal body temperatures depend of gender. For example, a woman or a man, they have different temperatures. If you are on a place with a lot of hot, it's very hot, the temperature can be more high. Or if you are on winter, for example, the temperature is more low. The following, when we can take the temperature, for example, is orally, rectally, axillary, by ear, by skin. Orally, the temperature can be taken by mouth using either the classic glass thermometer or the more modern digital thermometers that use an electronic probe to measure body temperature. Axillary temperatures can be taken under the arm using a glass or digital thermometer. Temperatures taken by the root tend to be 0.3 to 0.4 degrees Fahrenheit lower than those temperatures taken by mouth. Rectally, temperatures can rectally using a glass or a digital thermometer tend to be 0.5 to 0.7 degrees Fahrenheit higher than when taken by a mouth. By ear, a specialty thermometer can quickly measure the temperature of the ear drum, which reflects the body hair temperature, the temperature of the internal organs. A special thermometer can quickly measure temperature or skin for a head.
Okay, in the vital signs, the pulse rate is very important. The pulse rate is a measurement of the heart rate, or the number of times the heart beats per minute. As the heart pushes blood through the arteries expand and contract with the flow of the blood. Taking a pulse not only measures the heart rate, but also can indicate the following. The important here, a heart rate, streak of the pulse, but the most important here is the normal pulse. Okay, the normal pulse for healthy adults range from 60 to 100 beats per minute. The pulse rate may fluctuate and increase with the exercise, illness, injury, and emotions. How to check your pulse? As the heart force flows through the arteries, you feel the beats by firmly pressing on the arteries, which are located close to the surface of the skin and certain point of the body. The pulse can be found on the side of the neck, on the inside of the elbow, or the wrist. The for most people, is easiest to take the pulse in the wrist. If you use the lower neck, be sure not press too hard, and never press of the pulse on the both sides of the lower neck at the same time to prevent blocking blood flow to the brain. Indication from to the check pulse. The first indication here is using the first and second fingertips. Press firmly but gently on the arteries until you feel a pulse. The second indication, begin counting the pulse when the closed second hand is the 12. Third second, count your pulse for a 16 seconds, or for 50 seconds and then multiply by 4 to the calculate beat per minute. And the fourth indication, when counting, do not watch to the clock constantly, but concentrate on the beat of the pulse. And the fifth and the last indication, if you're unsure about your results, ask another person to come for you. This is the most important of the pulse rate.
Respiration rate. The respiration rate is the number of breaths a person takes per minute. The rate is usually measured when a person is at rest and simply involves counting the number of breaths for 1 minute by counting how many times the chest rises. Respiration rate may increase with fever, illness, and other medical conditions. When checking respiration, it is important to also know whether a person has any difficulty breathing. Normal respiration rates for an adult person at rest range from 12 to 16 breaths per minute. Blood pressure. Blood pressure is the force of the blood pushing against the artery whilst during contraction and relaxation of the heart. Each time the heart beats, it pumps blood into the arteries, resulting in the highest blood pressure as the heart contracts. When the heart relaxes, the blood pressure falls. Two numbers are recorded when measuring blood pressure. The higher number, or systolic pressure, refers to the pressure inside the artery when the heart contracts and pumps blood throughout the body. The lower number, or diastolic pressure, refers to the pressure inside the artery when the heart is at rest and is filling with blood. High blood pressure or hypertension directly increase the risk of heart attack, heart failure, and stroke. With high blood pressure, the arteries may have an increased resistance against the flow of blood, causing the heart to pump harder to circulate the blood. Blood pressure is categorized as normal, elevated, or stage 1 or stage 2 high blood pressure. Normal blood pressure is systolic of less than 120 and diastolic of less than 80. Elevated blood pressure is systolic of 120 to 129 and diastolic less than 80. Stage 1 high blood pressure is systolic is 130 to 139 or diastolic between 80 to 89. Stage 2 high blood pressure is when systolic is 140 or higher or the diastolic is 90 or higher.
These numbers should be used as a guide only. A single blood pressure measurement that is higher than normal is not necessarily an indication of a problem. Your doctor will want to see multiple blood pressure measurements over several days or weeks before making a diagnosis of high blood pressure and starting treatment. Ask your provider when to contact him or her if your blood pressure readings are not within the normal range. The people with hypertension are advised to avoid salt, no smoking, do not consume alcohol in excess, and maintain body weight and exercise 30 minutes a day. Aneroid monitor. The aneroid monitor is less expensive than the digital monitor. The cuff is inflated by hand by squeezing a rubber ball. Some units even have a special feature to make it easier to put the cuff on with one hand. However, the unit can be easily damaged and become less accurate because the person using it must listen for heartbeats with the stethoscope. It may not be appropriate for the hearing impaired patients. The people who frequently use this device are healthcare personnel because training is required to have accurate measures. Digital monitor. The digital monitor is automatic with the measurements appearing on a small screen because the recordings are easy to read. This is the most popular blood pressure measuring device. It is also easier to use than the aneroid unit, and since there is no need to listen to heartbeats through the stethoscope, this is a good device for hearing impaired patients. What disadvantage is that the movement, that body movement or an irregular heart rate can change the accuracy. These units are also more expensive than the aneroid monitors. No prior training is required for this device and therefore is the most common among patients.